everyone, so as promised, I'm going to do an update on how Bitcoin is doing in the crypto space. As I talked about last week, we were due for a correction. We got our correction, as I pointed out during these things. So as I talked about 6 days ago, I posted this, and that was to be careful of this level here. Okay, as you can see, they were buys at 69K. If they're not buying there, you'd have to ask the question, why? What's changed? Why were they buying there, and now they're not next time? Okay, which is why then after that, I started to show you this, which was that BTC hourly bulls need to step up. Okay, we've hit it. Otherwise, we're correcting on the hourly. All right, so change of structure, basic stuff. They were buying higher, selling higher. All of a sudden, they're not buying higher and they're selling lower. Okay, that's what's called a change of structure. The reason why I was even looking at this zone in the first place is because we were at a massive weekly zone to be careful of. And the main weekly zone that I talked about was the USDT dominance zone, as I posted here. Okay, USDT is at the major weekly level, and the reason why it's trend line number one. So as you can see, you've just got a trend line coming up here, key trend line support. So support, 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 and now support. Okay, next one was the Fib 618. So as we know, the market zigs and zags, and 618 is often a key zone to be careful of as well. So from there, we're down to the 618 level, which you can see here. Okay, another reason why. So this is called confluency, where multiple levels of support will reach. Horizontal support as well. So just a key major resistance, became support, became resistance, became support, became support. So then you've also got major horizontal support. On top of that, RSI was very oversold, due for a bounce on the weekly. Fear greed index was above 90. People getting really bullish, due for a correction. What I talked about, the fact was that, you know, they're gonna at least react here. How much they react is what we don't know yet. Okay, so you would expect buyers to step in at least in some way here. How they're going to step in, we don't know. So what you've got to first look at is we've obviously had a change of structure. Okay, and that's what I posted about here, is that we changed our structure, tested resistance as support, and started to go. Okay, at the moment, we still have bullish market structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and this is still a higher low right now. What we could have done is just had a correction from here, and we've come up and hit the 618 to the T. So there is a chance that the correction is over. Okay, and all we've done is gone zig, zag, roll over, and keep going. Okay, however, if we start to get above this 4.7%, which is your 618 major resistance support, then all of a sudden we're looking for a bigger move. Then what we're looking for is we actually could be just correcting this whole move. So then we're looking for a larger move up towards this 4.84 to 5.5. Okay, and if you look at that, that 618 aligns with that massive support level that it held previously before it came down. So that's going to be a massive level there. So if we haven't rejected here and then keeps going up, this will be our next zone, which is why we could be due for a larger correction. I want you just to look at the dates as to where we come out. See how it's like April to May? Okay, if we start to get a bit of a move and say a W and then start to come up around that date, you're looking at around that kind of Mayish kind of period. It's not showing up really, but yeah, it's around that kind of late April, May kind of period. The reason why I'm looking at that period is going off the election cycle. Okay, let me show you how the election cycle works. Okay, so this is data that dates back over 100 years of data. Bitcoin, we know, has only been around for 10 years. So if you're going to listen to anything, you'd listen to 100 years worth of data over 10. Going by this, right now we're in the election year, 2024. Prior to that, 2023 was this one, 2022. So your bear markets in crypto are actually just your midterm election, which is a common midterm bear cycle within the stock market anyway. That's your bear cycle. This is your running into it. This is your pre-halving dump. This is your after-halving push. That's the halving cycle right there. So is it actually the halving cycle that's moving the markets, or is it actually the Dow Jones election cycle that dates more than 100 years? Let's have a look. So back here, this is your bear market. See how we found a bottom in June? we found a bottom in crypto in June. Then we had a rally. Then we had a dump into that September, October, which is where Bitcoin bottomed in 15K. From that point there, what did we get? We've got a major bull market up until this kind of July period. We had a correction into September, October, and then we've had a run into Christmas, bit of a pullback during the ETF dump, okay, a pull, and then as you can see, we're here now, March. So historically, just after March, so mid-March, we start to get a downturn until that kind of April, May period. Then around that halving cycle is where it starts to go ballistic. So 100 years of data is showing us that for the next couple of months, we typically get a correction. Okay. And as you can see, Bitcoin has followed this thing pretty darn close so far. So timing wise, seasonality wise, we're actually due for a bit more of a correction than we are that way. Okay. I'll pull up some more data as well. So if you look at presidential election years, you can see that that April, May period is typically very bad during election cycles. Okay. Then it gets quite good. You get your usual September shitty month, and then it goes good again for the rest of the year. So history, again, hundreds of data shows seasonality wise that markets are traditionally bad coming in April and May. The charts are showing there's definitely chance for a pullback as well. Just a room to be cautious. I always talk about the fact that the best championship teams in the world have good offense and defense. You never want to be full offense. You need to be able to know how to play both. Okay, so just knowing those key levels can help you and protect you from losing massive gains, as I'm sure some of you lost on this recent dip. You know, some of those alts have dropped to over 30%, massive drops, whereas if you were only up that amount, it can absolutely wreck you. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at that and the chart. So let me go back to Bitcoin now and show you where we could be looking for that. Okay, so from this move here, what we don't know now is this a zig and a zag, and we're going to go. As you can see here, the 236, which will form as a resistance, is also a major zone on here as well. Okay, the reasons why I knew we're going to go in for a big bounce was we're coming down to a key support level, and then you can see we were showing signs of bullish divergence going into it. So a weakening trend due for a bounce. Okay, however, it has happened on low volume. Okay, so it's still showing some signs of weakness, and it's starting to reject a bit of a key level. So that knowing that's where bulls can step in, you then need to know, okay, well, where could bears step in? So you just do the reverse. Just from there to there, you start looking at your key zones where it could reject going the other way. And it's at that zone right now. Okay, and that's what I talked about, the fact that we've had a zig. You don't know if a bottom's in or if it's just a zag before going further. This is where the bears are going to step in if they're going to step in, which is why 69K is a key level, because you're getting back above that 618, which happens to align with that major resistance support level, which happens to also be the old top. Okay, we broke through 69K. Oh my God, Bitcoin's new highs. We've dropped back below. So that top will be a major resistance again, and it also happens to align with all of the major levels. Okay, on top of that, low volume, potential for hidden bearish divergence, as you can see here as well. Okay, high RSI, low price, continuation of the trend, things like that as well. All right, so as a betting man, I would have to say I believe there's still more downside. Seasonality says there is. Technicals still tell me there is. For me, I just think this was a liquidity bounce. Shorts, you know, nothing goes down a straight line. You completed one zig, you've got your zag, 1, 2, 3 up, ABC, and then we should get further downside. However, my stance will change if we get above 69K. Means that we could actually be going further and have room for one more move up before then another potential move, bearish move. But for now, we're still bearish because we are actually still making higher lows. So we are still, lower highs. We are still selling lower. We are still buying lower. There is absolutely no change of structure yet. The only way we change structure is if we do roll a bit here and start to go like that. Because then all of a sudden we are buying higher for the first time, and we will be selling higher when we break through. At the moment, they're still selling lower and they're still buying lower. It is still bearish, and it's just hit a key bearish zone right now. Okay, above 69k that changes, then we can start to look long again. Until then, be very cautious, be very careful, as the probabilities are still more for downside, especially bouncing off that major weekly big USDT dominance level as well. I highly doubt you're going to get just a little bounce like that and then a roll through. I think you'll be looking at a bigger bounce than what it is just given right now. So hope that helps, guys. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and take care.